Welcome to record opening balance in Teleprime. In this section, we are going to record the opening balance in Teleprime. So you can see that the book of M&O Company opening balance is on 1st April 2020. The details they provide for us: the capital, land and building, printing, rent, insurance, sales, debtors, sales return, rent received, cash, stationery, drawing, salaries, telephone, purchase, computer, electricity, creditors, machineries, purchase return, furniture and advertisement. So these are the opening balance available on M&O Company. We need to be recorded in Teleprime. So the question is prepare the ledger, find out the trial balance, find out the gross profit, find out the net profit, and find out the balance sheet amount. If we prepare the ledgers and if we put the opening balance, the tally automatically generate the trial balance and the income statement and balance sheet. So we can get all the answer if we enter the opening balance into Teleprime, right? Now I'm going to open the Teleprime. So the Teleprime interface open. So now I'm going to be click the continue in educational mode, and now the one of the company is open. So I need to be shut down the company. So if I want to be shut down the company, I need to click the company or press F3 into the keyboard, and you can see the option, the create company, alter company, select the company and shut down the company. So I'm going to be choose the shut the company, and I'm going to be shut sample 1 company name, and I'm going to be shut the company, right? So now we have shut the company. Now we have to create the new company. The name is MS&O company, right? So I'm going to be click the create company. So now we have to enter the company name. Company name is M&O company, right? M&O, right? So M&O is the company name. M&O is the company name, and the mailing name also same. I'm going to be choose the India, and other things are same, but starting date, the opening balance financial year begin from what is the date? You know that opening balance 1st April 2020. So 1st April 2020 I'm going to be enter, and now I'm going to be accept. Yes, you can see the dialog box, that is company created successfully. If you want to be change the company features, you can change, but I'm not going to be change anything else. I just serve this setting. So if I want to be serve this setting, Control plus E, the setting will be saved. So I'm going to be press Control plus A, and now the settings saved and the company open, right? So you can see the gateway of Tally right now. The name of the company is M&O. The accounting period is 1st April 2022, 31st March 2021. The current date is Wednesday, 1st April 2020. There is no vouchers until. Now we are going to enter the opening balance. You can see here there are variety of ledgers available. We have to be enter into the Teleprime, right? So if we want to be enter the opening balance, we just need to go to the create, and account under the accounting master you can see the second option is ledger. So I'm going to create the ledger. So now you can create the ledger, right? And you can see the opening balance 1st April 2020. So you can enter the opening balance here. That's it, right? Now we are going to create the ledger. The first ledger is capital, so I'm going to copy, Control C, and I'm going to be paste here, Control Alt V, right? So the capital, and it is coming under the capital account. Then I'm going to be just enter, and the opening balance how much? The opening balance 75,900, right? Okay. The second one is land and building 40,000. I'm going to copy land and building 40,000. It is coming under the fixed asset. So if I type FI, the fixed asset, it will be up here. So I'm going to be choose the fixed asset, and the amount is how much? The amount is 40,000. So I'm going to be enter 40,000, right? Okay. The next one is printing 350. Printing is one of the expenses. So this is the indirect expenses. So I'm going to be type the name first. Ledger name is printing, and it is coming under the indirect expenses, right? And the amount is how much? The amount is 350 debit, right? The next one is rent 750. Rent is indirect expenses for the company. So I'm going to be create the ledger is a rent. It is coming under the indirect expenses. The amount is how much? 750, right? Debit, accept. The next one is insurance. Insurance 650. So I'm going to be put the ledger is insurance. It is coming under the indirect expenses. Then opening balance how much? The amount is 650. Then debit. The next one is sales 84,000. So sales is coming under the sales account. So I'm going to create the sales. It is coming under the sales account. So I'm going to be choose the sales account. Then amount is how much? 84,000. So 84,000, right? Okay. The next one is debtors 22,000. So debtor is the coming under the Sunday debtors. So I'm going to be create the name is debtors. It is coming under the Sunday debtors, right? Sunday debtors. And the amount is how much? 22,000, right? 22,000 debit. And the name no need, just we enter and serve it, right? Okay. The next one is sales return 2,000. So I'm going to be create the ledger sales return. It is coming under the sales because the sales and sales returns are coming under the sales account, but if it is sales return, we have to be deduct from the total sales. That's what we have to be debit in the sales return, because sales always credit but sales return always debit. So debit means it is automatically deduct from the sales, right? So I'm going to choose the sales account, and the amount is how much? 2,000. But very important thing is that 2,000 not credit, because it is not sale. This is sales return. If it is sales return, we need to be put that debit. It means that it will be reduce the total sales. So I'm going to be type TR, then enter. So the next one is rent receive. Rent receive, it's a one of the indirect income. So I'm going to be write the name is rent receive. It is coming under the indirect income. The amount is how much? 400, right? Okay. The next one is cash. Cash is a default account in Teleprime. If you press the page up key, the cash in hand will come, right? You can see I'm pressing page up key. You can see cash. So I'm going to be enter. The amount is how much? The cash is 12,000. Debit, right? Okay. The next one is stationery. It is the expenses, indirect expenses. So I'm going to be create the ledger stationery. It is coming under the indirect expenses. So I'm going to be choose indirect expenses, and then amount is how much? 350. Alright, the next one is drawing. Drawing capital is credit, drawing is debit, right? Because it is reduce the capital. So that's what. So I'm going to be create the ledger drawing. It is coming under the capital account. Capital account always credit, but drawing it's a debit because it will be reduce the capital. So that's what. So the drawing is how much? 3,500, but it's not credit, but it should be debit because it's reduced the capital. Then accept. The next one is salaries. Salaries is the indirect expenses, 5,000, right? So indirect expenses 5,000. So salary is expenses, indirect expenses, it should be debit, right? Okay, accept. The next one is telephone. Telephone also one of the expenses. It is also indirect expenses. And the amount is how much? The amount is 4,500. Right. The next one is purchase. Purchase, it's coming under the purchase account. So I'm going to be create the ledgers purchase. It is coming under the purchase account. So you can create the account purchase account. The amount is 37,000 debit, right? The next one is computer 10,000. Computer is fixed assets of the company. So I'm going to be write the ledger is computer. It is coming under the fixed asset, and the amount is how much? The computer 10,000. The next one is electricity. Electricity is the one of the indirect expenses of the company. The electricity is coming under the indirect expenses for the company. And then amount is 2,500, right? 2,500 debit, right? Then creditors, it's 12,000. So creditors coming under the Sunday creditors. So I'm going to be choose the Sunday creditors, and the amount is how much? The amount is how much? 12,000, right? Okay, 12,000. And accept. The next one is machinery 12,000. Machinery also 12,000. So I'm going to be type machinery. It is coming under the fixed asset. And amount is how much? 12,000 debit. You can see the total opening balance 152,600 debit, 172,300 credit, right? The difference 19,700. If I enter the amount, it will be automatically changed, right? If it is finish the transaction, the amount should be equal. It means that total debit equal to total credit. The next one is purchase return 1,800. Purchase return. Purchase, it's always debit. Purchase return always credit. So it is coming under the also purchase account, right? So purchase return, it is coming under the purchase account. But purchase return should be credit because it will be deduct from the purchase. So that's what, right? So the total amount is how much? A purchase return 1800. It should be credit, CR, right? Okay. The next one is furniture 15,500. Furniture 15,500. It is fixed asset of the company, so I'm going to choose the fixed asset, and amount is how much? 15,500 debit, right? The final transaction is advertisement 6,000. Advertisement is one of the indirect expenses of the organization. So I'm going to choose the indirect expenses, and I'm going to be under the amount 6,000. You can see right now the opening balance is equal 174,100 debit, 174,100 credit. It means that debit equals to credit. So our sum is correct, right? So I'm going to be enter and accept yes.